Solatube is an Australian invention. It was invented about 22 years ago by 4 gentlemen, and one of those 4 gentlemen still owns the whole of Solatube Australia organisation. Solatubes are now sold in 40 countries around the world. There's Solatube in America, the UK, China, Africa, Japan, etc., etc. Not bad for a small business enterprise going global. The actual technology, of course, is based on gathering as much daylight as possible and delivering that daylight into all forms of buildings such as schools, education, recreation and sports, industrial warehousing and factories, plus also into residential housing and also unit developments. What we have on main display here at the Design Build Melbourne is our new commercial industrial product, which is our largest of our units. It's actually a 530mm diameter product. That is the tube itself, and of course we have the suitable domes that go with the 530 tube. One of the things that Solatube prides itself on is the fact that we are totally code compliant. That is, we meet all the requirements of the Building Code of Australia, or as it's now called, the National Construction Code of Australia. And we meet those solar heat gain and U factor requirements, and also Section J for all markets. That's whether it's education, sports and recreation, office buildings, warehouses and factories, and also naturally all the smaller applications such as residential, unit developments and townhouses. One of the ways that we do that, particularly in this larger commercial industrial product, but in commercial buildings we have our new dome, which is 100% pure acrylic. It's not affected by ultraviolet light, and it also comes with a couple of unique features. It's got a band of laser cuts here, which actually for low light, that is sunrise and sunset, it's actually grabbing that light and sending that light down the tube. One of the things that helps us with our solar heat gain coefficients and U factors, or with the heat load coming into the building, on the top of the dome we have a series of laser cuts as well. For that big peak of light, say from 11 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's actually rejecting part of that light, and with that light, the heat as well. Also, to help us to be code compliant, on our commercial product, we actually use 2 domes. We have the outer dome, which is this one, and also a clear inner dome. So what we're creating right at roof level, it's like double glazing, which is an insulating plate, and we don't allow that heat load to actually enter into the building itself. That's beneficial particularly in air-conditioned buildings, where if you've got air conditioning running, you can actually save up to 18 to 23% on your air conditioning running cost, because our heat load is less than running artificial lights or fluorescent lights in that office building. The second part of our new technology, of course, is are our new tubes. This particular one here is a 530mm diameter tube, and inside the tube is a film which is 99.7% reflectance. When the product was originally invented, the film inside, or the tube, was 84% reflectant. And if you attempted to run that tube, say 3 meters, you were only getting around about 30% of the available light on the roof actually being delivered into the rooms below. With the new tube, if we run it 3 meters, we actually get in excess of 96–97% of the available light on the roof into the room. It's so reflectant in actual fact that we can run these 530mm diameter tubes 15 or 16 metres. So what that means, theoretically, say in a 3 or 4 story building, we can actually bring daylight to the ground floor. Another thing with the tube very quickly is that we can actually put in a daylight control dimmer. Okay, we can actually control the amount of daylight coming into the rooms below. And that accessory is very, very popular for school buildings, office buildings, any environment where the occupant wants to control the light levels and not have that room totally 100% flooded with daylight in at all times. The actual new diffuser, which is positioned on the base of our transition box, it's a 600 by 600 diffuser, clips very easily into the bottom of the transition box, and it's got like a Fresnel lens effect to it. As you can see, it's polycarb with very, very fine laser cuts on the back. The advantage of this style of lens is that it spreads the light over a much larger area. It's a much more even light as well. And the other advantage is that it greatly reduces solar glare. So if you've got computer screens, etc., you're not going to get that solar glare affecting the screen operation. So brand new. Also for some of our smaller domestic product, plus also some of the smaller applications of our commercial and industrial products, we've just introduced a whole new range of glass distractions, and I'd urge you to check those out on the Solatube website, which of course is www.solatube.com.au.